Stop waiting. Take action. Now, too often we find ourselves waiting for the perfect moment to start something important. We tell ourselves we need to feel motivated, well-rested, or completely confident before we take the first step. Maybe we think we need a detailed plan or that inspiration will magically appear. But the truth is, no one has ever changed their life by waiting to feel ready. The feeling of readiness rarely, if ever, arrives. If you want to create real change, you must force yourself to act even when you feel tired, unmotivated, or full of doubt. Action, not motivation, is what shapes your future. Hesitation and delay only create more regret and lost opportunities. Every day that you wait is a day you'll never get back. While you're stuck overthinking, making excuses, or searching for that perfect timing, your dreams drift further away. What if the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the action you keep avoiding? When you force your mind to focus and make your body move, even when you feel completely unprepared, you unlock a powerful side of yourself. You don't need the perfect plan to begin. You simply need to take the first imperfect step. So many people let fear, fatigue, or uncertainty keep them frozen in place. But the truth is, courage isn't the absence of fear or doubt. It's acting in spite of them. Imagine looking back years from now, full of regret because you waited for inspiration instead of creating it. The uncomfortable reality is this: progress starts the moment you decide to act, not the moment you feel motivated. If you always wait to feel ready, you'll stay exactly where you are. What if you stopped giving your excuses power? What if you decided right now to do the thing you've been putting off? Taking action is a decision. It's about choosing to move forward even when it's difficult, even when every part of you wants to delay. You don't need to feel inspired to get started. You just need to move. The first step doesn't have to be big or impressive. In fact, it rarely is. What matters is that you disrupt the cycle of waiting and hesitation. When you take action, even the smallest effort interrupts your old habits and starts building momentum. That momentum is what ultimately changes your life. Action leads and emotion follows. When you start, confidence grows. As confidence grows, motivation increases. And soon you become the type of person who gets things done. So if you're tired of being stuck, tired of watching time slip away, commit to acting now. Refuse to let hesitation control your future. Push yourself to begin, even if you're exhausted, uncertain, or afraid. The version of you that takes action, regardless of feelings, is the version that discovers what you're truly capable of. Your life can change the moment you decide to stop waiting and start moving. Start with just 5 minutes. Break the cycle of procrastination. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or intelligence. They fail simply because they never start. Every day, they sit and think about all the things they should be doing, the dreams they want to achieve, and how different their lives could be if they just took action. But instead of moving, they remain stuck, waiting, delaying, letting fear or the weight of the task paralyze them. The problem isn't a lack of motivation or energy. It's the pressure we put on ourselves to get everything perfect from the start. We imagine that we have to do the whole task at once, or that we need a burst of inspiration to get going. But the truth is, motivation doesn't just arrive. It's something you generate through action, not the other way around. This is why the 5-minute rule is so powerful. Instead of aiming to finish the entire task, simply commit to working on it for just 5 minutes. Set a timer and tell yourself you don't have to do more than that. You don't need to solve the whole problem or make huge progress. All you need to do is begin. 5 minutes might seem insignificant, but it's a psychological trick that disrupts the pattern of endless thinking and hesitation. When you lower the pressure, you lower your resistance. Your mind no longer sees the task as a giant mountain, but as a small hill you can easily climb. This simple act of starting, even for a short burst, changes everything. Once you're in motion, it's much easier to keep going. Many people underestimate the power of those first 5 minutes. They think such a short time can't possibly matter. But it's not about how much you get done. It's about creating momentum. Action, even the smallest, interrupts the cycle of planning, worrying, and waiting. Suddenly, you're not just thinking about what you should do, you're actually doing it. And that's where real progress happens. The brain often exaggerates how hard or unpleasant a task will be, convincing you to put it off. But when you sit down and start, even if it's just for 5 minutes, you take control away from your fears and excuses. You don't give your mind time to panic or argue, you simply act. After those 5 minutes are up, something surprising happens. Most of the time, you won't want to stop. You'll realize the task isn't as overwhelming as you imagined, and you'll often keep going well beyond your original commitment. That's the secret. It was never about motivation. It's about building momentum, and momentum can transform your life. Instead of waiting for the right feeling or the perfect moment, try the 5-minute rule. Next time you feel stuck or intimidated by a big task, set a timer and promise yourself just 5 focused minutes. Make those minutes count. No distractions, no half-hearted effort, just genuine action. When you repeat this habit, you train yourself to overcome procrastination, develop discipline, and become the kind of person who gets things done. Real change begins with the smallest step. 5 minutes is all it takes to start. Break big tasks into small daily steps. The secret to sustainable progress. One of the biggest reasons people stay stuck and overwhelmed is because they look at their goals or projects as massive, intimidating mountains. When you see a huge goal in front of you, your mind instantly feels the weight of how far you have to go. The path seems too long, the work seems too hard, and you feel like you have to do it all at once. This mindset often leads to procrastination, self-doubt, and sometimes giving up before you even begin. But the truth is, nobody ever accomplished anything meaningful by trying to do it all at once. The secret to real sustainable progress is to break big tasks into small, manageable daily action steps. Instead of focusing on the enormity of your goal, you focus on what you can do today. Not tomorrow, not next week, just today. Start by identifying your main objective. Write it down, then ask yourself, what is the smallest step I can take right now that moves me closer to this goal? Maybe it's writing a single paragraph if you want to finish a book, or sorting one folder if you want to organize your workspace, or making one phone call if you want to grow your network. By narrowing your focus to a single clear action, you remove the feeling of overwhelm and replace it with a sense of control. Each small step completed is a victory. These little wins add up, building momentum and confidence. Over days and weeks, they become habits. Over months and years, they lead to true transformation. When you start treating your big goals as a series of daily actions, they stop feeling like burdens and start to look like exciting journeys. This approach also creates a clear way to track your progress. Instead of feeling lost in a sea of endless work, you have tangible evidence each day that you are moving forward. Progress, no matter how small, sparks motivation. Motivation creates energy, and energy leads to more progress. It's a positive cycle that keeps you going, even when you feel tired or discouraged. Most people think that only big, dramatic efforts count, but real change is built on consistency, not intensity. Success comes from showing up and completing your small steps every single day. These repeated actions form habits, and habits are the foundation of all achievement. Eventually, your brain stops questioning whether you should act. It expects you to act. Breaking big tasks into small steps also reduces procrastination. Procrastination thrives on overwhelm. When a job seems too large or unclear, your mind naturally looks for ways to avoid it. But when you divide your work into clear, simple actions, it becomes manageable and much harder to avoid. You can always take one small step, even on tough days. Finally, this strategy teaches patience and perseverance. You learn that progress isn't instant. It's a gradual process built through daily effort. When you trust the process, you build momentum that carries you forward, even when motivation fades. Remember, greatness is not achieved in a single leap, but in thousands of small, consistent steps. Start with just one today. Eliminate distractions before you begin. Build a focused environment for real results. If you want to take meaningful action and actually finish what you start, eliminating distractions is not optional. It's essential. Distraction is the invisible enemy that quietly steals your energy, your time, and your focus, often without you even realizing it. You might have every intention to be productive, but if your environment is filled with buzzing notifications, background noise, and constant interruptions, your brain simply cannot engage deeply with your work. It's a struggle that millions face every single day. You sit down to work, but before you even begin, your phone lights up with a new message, your email pings, or the TV hums in the background. Even visual clutter in your workspace can be a silent thief of your concentration. Every time you break focus to check a message or glance at a notification, your brain needs time to refocus. These small interruptions accumulate, and by the end of the day, hours of potential progress are lost to scattered attention and half-finished tasks. To make real progress, you must create an environment that supports your best focus. This starts with a few key steps. First, turn off all unnecessary notifications. Put your phone on silent, or even better, leave it in another room while you work. Close extra tabs on your computer that aren't related to your task. Even tidying up your physical workspace can have a dramatic effect. Clean, organized spaces help your brain zero in on what matters most. But eliminating distractions isn't just about your devices and your desk. It also means setting boundaries with the people around you. If you live or work with others, let them know when you need focus time and ask for their support in not interrupting you. Consider setting specific hours when you're off limits to help you protect those precious blocks of deep work. The benefits of a distraction-free environment are huge. Without constant interruptions, your mind can enter a flow state, a deep focus where work feels natural, ideas come more easily, and tasks are completed with far less effort. In this state, you make real progress and actually enjoy the process. Every session of focused work you complete builds your confidence and creates momentum, making it easier to start again next time. Eliminating distractions also means taking control of your own habits. Social media, entertainment apps, and even news sites are designed to hijack your attention. Use tools or apps that block access to these sites during work time, or set clear times for breaks when you can check in guilt-free. This isn't about denying yourself pleasure. It's about making intentional choices that serve your bigger goals. Before starting any focused work, prepare everything you need, tools, materials, notes, so you won't have to stop halfway to find something. Each interruption makes it harder to finish what you started. Over time, a distraction-free environment helps you beat procrastination, makes it easier to take action, and gives your goals the respect and attention they deserve. When you protect your focus, you protect your progress. Create a space that invites concentration, set clear boundaries, and make focus your default. The quality and quantity of your results will soar. Reconnect with your why. Fuel your action with meaning. When it comes to taking action and following through on your goals, there is one vital ingredient that often gets overlooked: remembering why it truly matters to you. Too many people start out strong, full of energy and ambition, but quickly lose steam as challenges, distractions, or simple fatigue set in. Why does this happen? It's because they lose touch with the deeper reason behind their actions, their why. When your sense of purpose becomes fuzzy or distant, motivation begins to fade. Doubt creeps in, your mind wanders, and suddenly it's easy to make excuses or put things off. Without a powerful reason driving you forward, action feels empty, meaningless, or just another chore on your endless to-do list. This is why reconnecting with your why is so important. Your reason for taking action must be personal, clear, and compelling. It must speak to your values, your dreams, and your vision for your life. When you know why you're doing something, when you can feel the purpose in your bones, it's much easier to push through discomfort, fatigue, and even failure. Start by asking yourself some honest questions. Why do I want to accomplish this goal? What will my life look like if I succeed? How will I feel about myself? What impact will this action have on my future or on the people I care about? Take the time to write down your answers. Be as specific and vivid as you can. The more clearly you define your reasons, the stronger your motivation will be. It's not enough to remind yourself once. Life is busy and distractions are everywhere. Regularly revisit your why. Post your reasons where you can see them. On your wall, in your planner, on your phone. Let your purpose become a daily reminder, not just an occasional thought. This keeps your emotions engaged and your motivation fresh, especially on days when everything feels like an uphill battle. A strong why also helps you sacrifice comfort or immediate gratification for long-term rewards. When you know what's at stake, it becomes easier to say no to distractions, to endure tough moments, and to keep going even when progress is slow. Your why transforms pain into fuel and struggle into growth. It's also important to make sure your reasons come from within, not just from external pressure or the expectations of others. Goals imposed by others rarely inspire lasting action. True commitment comes from a purpose that resonates with your own values and desires. When your actions align with the person you want to become, every step feels meaningful. Finally, don't be afraid to share your why with someone you trust. Speaking it out loud increases your commitment and invites support when you need it most. If you ever find your motivation slipping, go back to your core reason. Visualize your success, reconnect with your purpose, and let it guide you forward. At the end of the day, it's your why that sustains you through setbacks, pushes you to grow, and makes every small victory worth celebrating. Reconnect with it daily and watch how much more powerful your actions become. Commit publicly. Turn your intentions into real action. Many people want to achieve their goals, and they often have the best intentions. Yet despite their strong desires, they struggle to follow through. Why? Because private goals kept only in your mind or written in your journal are easy to break. When no one else knows about your intentions, it becomes far too easy to delay, make excuses, or let motivation fade away. Public commitment is a game changer. When you make your goals known to others, friends, family, mentors, or even a supportive online community, you instantly add an extra layer of accountability. Suddenly, your goal is no longer a private wish. It becomes a promise. It's not just about you anymore. You now owe it to others to follow through, and that sense of responsibility can create the push you need to act, even when you don't feel like it. Why is public commitment so effective? It taps into our natural desire to be consistent and reliable in the eyes of others. We don't want to disappoint those who believe in us or look unreliable. The pressure is real, but it's the kind of pressure that helps, not harms. It turns your "I hope to" into "I will." This small change in mindset can make all the difference. There are many ways to use public commitment. You might announce your goal to friends or family and ask them to check in on your progress. You could share your intentions on social media, giving your followers updates as you work toward your target. Some people join accountability groups or masterminds where everyone shares their weekly goals and reports on progress. Others work with a coach or mentor, turning their ambitions into clear, written promises. When making your commitment, be specific. Vague promises like, "I want to exercise more," are easy to ignore. Instead, say, "I will go for a 30-minute walk every morning," or "I'll finish one chapter of my project by Friday." The more precise your commitment, the easier it is for others to support you and for you to track your progress. Choosing the right audience matters. Share your goals with people who genuinely care about your growth and will encourage you, people who will check in, offer advice, or celebrate your progress. Don't choose critics who only look for faults. A supportive environment transforms accountability into a positive, motivating force. Of course, public commitment can be uncomfortable. It exposes you to vulnerability, the possibility of failing in front of others. But this vulnerability is powerful. It's what makes you take your promises seriously. Even setbacks can become valuable lessons when shared openly. Admitting where you struggled and how you'll adjust builds trust, both with yourself and your supporters. Over time, these public commitments create momentum. Every time you follow through, you strengthen your self-discipline and confidence. You become someone who is known for taking action, not just talking about it. And that reputation pushes you even further. If you've struggled to follow through on your private intentions, try committing publicly. Let the power of accountability turn your goals into reality, one promise at a time. Your progress will accelerate, your confidence will grow, and your dreams will feel closer than ever. Use rewards to strengthen your consistency, Make progress feel good. Most people underestimate the power of rewards in driving lasting change. We often think willpower and discipline alone are enough to keep us moving forward, but the human brain is wired to respond to positive feedback. When you connect your daily efforts to meaningful rewards, you make action not just a duty, but something you look forward to. This simple strategy can be the difference between giving up and building unstoppable momentum. Why do rewards matter so much? Every time you complete a task and enjoy a reward, even a small one, your brain releases feel-good chemicals like dopamine. These chemicals teach your brain that taking action brings pleasure, not just struggle. Over time, this creates a positive feedback loop. The more you act, the more you crave that feeling of accomplishment and satisfaction. Many people think they have to wait for huge milestones to celebrate. They believe only major wins deserve recognition. But real transformation comes from small, consistent steps. When you learn to celebrate the little victories, finishing a work session, completing a workout, sticking to a habit for a day, you train your brain to keep going. Progress becomes enjoyable, not a punishment. So, how do you use rewards effectively? Start by choosing simple, honest rewards that matter to you. After you finish a focused block of work, treat yourself to something pleasant. A walk outside, a favorite snack, a short break with music, or a few pages of a good book. The reward doesn't have to be extravagant. It just needs to feel genuinely satisfying and timely. Timing is crucial. The closer the reward follows the action, the stronger the connection your brain makes between effort and pleasure. Don't delay your reward until the end of the week if possible. Celebrate immediately after each productive session. This immediate reinforcement is what turns new behaviors into lasting habits. It's also important not to use rewards as an excuse to slack off or cut corners. A reward is meant to recognize real effort and commitment, not to justify skipping work. Make sure you truly earn it. This keeps your progress honest and your motivation genuine. You don't always have to reward yourself with material things. Social or emotional rewards are powerful too. Sharing your progress with a friend, giving yourself a sincere well done, or marking your achievement in a journal all build pride and reinforce your habits. Positive self-talk and acknowledgement help create an encouraging mental environment where effort is valued. If you're not sure what rewards will motivate you, experiment. Try different types and see what sparks your enthusiasm. Notice which rewards make you want to start again tomorrow and use those consistently. Remember, consistency is more important than intensity. Even small rewards for small actions add up over time, building the foundation for bigger wins. When you connect effort with pleasure, you shift from forcing yourself to act out of duty to acting out of desire. That shift is the secret to unstoppable progress. In the end, rewards are not about indulgence. They're about building a lifestyle where effort feels meaningful and progress is something you want to chase every single day. Use rewards wisely and watch your consistency and confidence grow. Change your environment. Create a space that triggers fast action. The space around you has a profound impact on your behavior, far more than most people realize. While we like to believe motivation and willpower come purely from within, the truth is your environment can either support your goals or sabotage them. If you want to make fast, consistent progress, you must design your surroundings to trigger action, not delay. Look at the environment where you usually try to work or pursue your goals. Is it cluttered, noisy, or filled with distractions? If so, you're forcing yourself to fight an uphill battle every time you sit down to begin. The brain is highly responsive to external cues. Messy spaces, constant notifications, background conversations, or even the sight of your phone can make it nearly impossible to focus or get started. Changing your environment doesn't mean moving to a fancy office or spending a lot of money. It means making deliberate, thoughtful adjustments to remove friction and make action as easy as possible. The first step is to clear the clutter. A clean, organized workspace reduces stress and allows your mind to focus on the task at hand. Next, eliminate distractions. Silence your phone, close unnecessary tabs, and if possible, work in a quiet area away from interruptions. Lighting and comfort matter too. Poor lighting and uncomfortable chairs sap your energy and motivation. Bright natural light and a comfortable seat can make it much easier to settle into work and stay there. Even small changes, like opening a window for fresh air or adjusting your desk to face away from distractions, can make a noticeable difference. Set clear boundaries between work and relaxation zones. If you work where you also rest or play, your brain mixes up signals, making it harder to get into the right mindset. Whenever possible, dedicate a specific spot for focused action and use it only for that purpose. Over time, your mind will associate this environment with productivity, making it easier to start each time you enter the space. Visual reminders can also trigger fast action. Place your goals, deadlines, or motivational quotes where you'll see them often. These cues keep your attention on what matters and remind you why you need to act now. Surround yourself with people who respect your time and goals, or, if possible, work alongside those who share your ambitions. A positive social environment can help keep you motivated and on track. Remember, changing your environment is an ongoing process. You may need to experiment to find what works best for you. Pay attention to which settings help you act quickly and which ones slow you down. Adapt as needed, and don't be afraid to make small adjustments regularly. Even minor changes can have a big impact on your momentum. Ultimately, your environment should be your ally, not your enemy. When your space supports your intentions and makes action easy, you stop wasting energy fighting distractions or resisting temptation. You move naturally and quickly toward your goals. Take control of your surroundings, and you'll find yourself taking action with greater speed, focus, and consistency than ever before. Your environment isn't just a backdrop. It's a powerful tool for success. Stop overthinking, move your body, and break the paralysis. One of the most common traps that keeps people from taking action is overthinking. When you're faced with an important task or a big goal, it's easy to get caught up in your thoughts, worrying about what might go wrong, doubting your abilities, or waiting for the perfect time to begin. These mental spirals can last for minutes, hours, or even days, draining your energy and making the task feel even more overwhelming. But here's the truth. The more you think about starting, the harder it becomes. Overthinking is like quicksand. The longer you stay stuck in your head, the deeper you sink into indecision and anxiety. Every minute spent trapped in endless mental loops is a minute lost to real progress. The fastest and most effective way to break this cycle is to take physical action immediately. When you feel yourself slipping into analysis paralysis, don't wait for motivation or clarity. Don't tell yourself you need to figure it all out before starting. Instead, use your body as a tool to disrupt the thought pattern. Stand up, take a walk, stretch your arms, or do a few jumping jacks. You don't have to leap straight into your hardest task. Just move. Physical movement, no matter how small, sends a powerful signal to your brain that it's time to shift from thinking to doing. This transition not only breaks the grip of overthinking, but also triggers a surge of energy and focus. Your brain starts releasing chemicals that boost your mood, sharpen your attention, and prepare you for productive work. There's a deep connection between mind and body. When you're motionless, your mind often becomes sluggish or tangled. But when you move, your blood flows, your heart rate rises, and your body releases tension. Suddenly, the problem in your head seems more manageable, and the first step feels less daunting. It's important to realize that you don't need to wait for the perfect plan, the right mood, or a burst of inspiration to act. Action comes first. Motivation and clarity follow. By getting your body in motion, you create momentum that carries your mind along for the ride. This is why even the smallest physical act, standing up from your chair, opening your notebook, picking up the phone, can spark a chain reaction of productivity. Make it a habit whenever you catch yourself overthinking or delaying. Do something physical right away. This could mean organizing your desk, stepping outside for a minute, or simply taking a few deep breaths and stretching. Over time, your brain will learn to associate these movements with forward motion, making it easier to break free from paralysis in the future. Remember, everyone struggles with doubt and hesitation. The difference between those who act and those who stay stuck isn't that one group has less fear or uncertainty. It's that they've learned how to use movement to shift from thinking to doing. Don't let overthinking steal your time or your dreams. Move your body now and let action lead you to clarity, confidence, and achievement. Embrace discomfort. Grow beyond your limits. Most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort, seeking out comfort zones where everything feels familiar and safe. It's a natural instinct. No one likes pain, struggle, or uncertainty. But the reality is that meaningful growth and true achievement only happen when you are willing to step outside that comfort zone and embrace discomfort as a necessary part of the journey. Discomfort is not your enemy. In fact, it's a powerful signal that you're pushing yourself to new heights. When you feel uneasy, nervous, or even a little afraid, it often means you're stretching your abilities, learning something new, or moving closer to a big goal. Every moment of growth in life, whether it's building a skill, overcoming a setback, or reaching for an ambitious dream, comes with its share of challenge and uncertainty. The common mistake is to treat discomfort as a warning to stop. When things get hard, we tell ourselves, maybe I'm not cut out for this, or it shouldn't feel this tough. But the truth is, if you always avoid what feels difficult, you'll stay stuck at your current level. You'll repeat the same patterns, never discovering what you're truly capable of. Think of discomfort as the gym for your mind and spirit. Just as physical exercise challenges your muscles, emotional and mental discomfort builds resilience, patience, and inner strength. Each time you confront something hard, whether it's public speaking, a tough conversation, or sticking to a new habit, you gain experience and confidence. Over time, you become less afraid of discomfort and more willing to face life's inevitable challenges head-on. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is to view discomfort not as a threat, but as a teacher. Ask yourself, what is this difficult moment trying to show me? What can I learn from this struggle? This perspective transforms setbacks into stepping stones. Failure and frustration are no longer things to be feared, but valuable feedback on your path to growth. The journey won't always be easy. There will be days when you want to quit, when progress feels painfully slow, or when doubt clouds your vision. In those moments, remember, discomfort is temporary, but regret lasts much longer. The pain of discipline is far lighter than the pain of missed opportunities. Start small. Don't try to change everything overnight. Practice leaning into little discomforts. Try a new skill. Ask for feedback, wake up earlier, or finish a task even when you're tired. Each act of courage expands your comfort zone, making the next challenge easier to face. Self-compassion matters too. Embracing discomfort is not about punishing yourself or ignoring your limits. It's about being kind to yourself as you struggle and recognizing that growth is a process. Encourage yourself through hard moments and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. In the end, embracing discomfort is the gateway to your highest potential. It's the secret ingredient that turns ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. When you choose to face discomfort instead of avoiding it, you unlock new levels of strength, wisdom, and possibility within yourself. Don't let fear keep you small. Step into discomfort and watch yourself grow beyond your limits. Embracing discomfort, the gateway to your full potential. Growth and achievement are not destinations reached by staying comfortable. They are journeys fueled by discomfort, resilience, and the courage to stretch beyond your limits. Too many people spend their lives avoiding discomfort, hoping for an easy path, wishing that progress could come without struggle. But the reality is clear. Everything truly worthwhile lies on the other side of challenge and uncertainty. When you make peace with discomfort, you unlock a source of power within yourself that cannot be discovered any other way. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, and every story of success is built on a foundation of facing fears, enduring setbacks, and persevering through uncomfortable moments. Discomfort is not something to run from. It is a sign that you are moving forward, that you are leaving behind the old and opening yourself to the new. The journey of embracing discomfort begins with a shift in mindset. Instead of asking, how can I avoid pain and difficulty? Start asking, what can I learn from this challenge? How will this experience help me grow? This perspective transforms each setback into a stepping stone, each failure into a lesson, and each difficult moment into an opportunity to build strength. Accept that discomfort is not permanent. It is a temporary state, an indicator that you are stretching beyond what you thought was possible. In time, what once felt intimidating becomes familiar, and what once seemed impossible becomes part of your skill set. With each repetition, your comfort zone expands, making you more adaptable, resilient, and confident. Courage is not the absence of discomfort or fear, but the decision to act despite them. When you move through discomfort, you discover new abilities and insights that were hidden behind self-doubt and hesitation. You build grit, a quality that allows you to keep going when others give up. It's also important to practice self-compassion along the way. Growth is not about harsh self-criticism or demanding perfection. It's about supporting yourself through the ups and downs, recognizing your progress, and celebrating every small victory. Patience and kindness toward yourself make it possible to persevere through the hardest days. Surround yourself with people who understand the value of discomfort, those who encourage you to reach higher, challenge your assumptions, and support you as you navigate tough moments. Their belief in you, combined with your willingness to embrace discomfort, will propel you further than you can go alone. Remember, your potential is not defined by how comfortable your life is, but by how willing you are to face what is uncomfortable. Discomfort is the gateway through which all growth passes. Welcome it as a companion on your journey, knowing that every challenge overcome is a step closer to the person you want to become. In the end, it's not comfort, but discomfort that unlocks your fullest self. Every time you stretch beyond what feels safe or easy, you expand your world and discover new strengths. Let discomfort guide you, not stop you, and watch your life transform in ways you never imagined possible. True growth begins the moment you choose to embrace discomfort, because on the other side of challenge is the life you were meant to live.